I don't know about you, but I really thought this would be simpler. I really thought that at some point I would reach this imagined state of enlightenment and having it all figured out. I thought that as I got older, life would make more sense and become less complex, and I would know how to do this thing called life better. But instead, what I'm learning and realizing is it never gets less complex. It just gets differently complex. And that's why I started the show. That's why I wanted to have these conversations with normal humans navigating normal life stuff to make it okay to talk about the things that we thought would be simpler, but just actually really aren't. I'm Andy Golding, and a few episodes into doing the show, I realized that I've actually not introduced myself at any point. And that's what I thought I would do, is put some context to the human behind the show. Now past my mid-30s, starting to realize that life is complex, it's messy, it's astoundingly beautiful, it's ridiculously tricky. And that's okay. I guess that's the beauty of being human and navigating all of this. I also know that I'm not the only person who feels this way. And there's any number of topics that we could feel this way about. But when I say to a room full of people, I don't know about you, but I thought this would be simpler, everybody gets it. And it's ridiculously unsexy, but I want to share where the title for the show came from, where the idea for the show came from as well. I was trying to ship something from Portugal to Amsterdam. For context, I am South African, born and raised in Johannesburg, moved to Amsterdam about 5 years ago, and had something that was taken to Portugal for me by my dad and wanted it shipped to Amsterdam. We spent about an hour on a WhatsApp call, Googling, trying to figure out how do we ship this irregular object without it ending up costing hundreds and hundreds of euros. And at a stage in the conversation, I said to my dad, I thought this would be simpler. And then he giggled, and then I giggled, and then I was like, yeah, she says about this and life in general. And that idea of I thought this would be simpler kind of stuck with me. And I carried it through the next few days with me. And I was like, yeah, you know what? This is fun. There's something here. Let's do more of this. And so that's where the idea for the show was born. I also think it's important to contextualize that I thought this would be simpler doesn't mean that I'm asking for it to be easier. And I think that that's okay, and that rings true for a lot of us. We're not expecting life to be a walk in the park. I mean, it would be great if it was, but I think most of us are aware enough now that that's not how this life thing works. It's not a walk in the park. But does it always have to be quite so complex? And I think that a lot of what creates and adds to that complexity is we don't talk about these things. Planning for retirement, I thought it would be simpler, but we don't really talk about it with other people, so we think we're navigating it alone. Marriage, navigating a relationship, I thought it would be simpler, but nobody else really talks about the walls that they're running into or the tricky things that they're navigating. So we're left alone thinking it's just us. Adult friendships, I thought they would be simpler, but we don't talk openly enough about how tricky they are, so we think it's just us. Managing our finances like adults, everybody else seems to have it figured out. Why is it just me that's struggling? I thought this would be simpler. Growing up, my dad would always say to us when things went wrong or things didn't go our way, life's not fair. And it was said with so much love and compassion because what he was trying to do was prepare us for life throwing curveballs, life being complex, and things often just not going our way. So having that narrative in my mind of understanding that sometimes life can really be unfair. Cool, I get that. I'm not expecting sunshine and rainbows on platters. I mean, if anybody wants to hand me sunshine and rainbows on platters, I'm down. I'm okay with things being hard. I just feel like we should be able to talk about them more. And I have a theory called the bubble theory, which is quite new. So forgive me if it's not the most eloquently worded. But you know how when you're blowing bubbles, they pop so easily. Like it really just a gentle tap of the finger and poof, that barrier, that bubble is gone. I feel the same way about people and life stuff and these important conversations. All we have to do is pop the bubble. I live in an apartment building with people from all over the world and we don't really know each other. And I feel like if we just popped the bubble, there could be a great community happening here. And with these conversations, and I thought this would be simpler, I'm trying to pop the bubble and just open up the space of, oh, okay, we're actually both thinking these things. We're actually all like, how are we navigating our way into middle age and towards retirement? I have no idea. But you're also feeling that way? Oh, cool. Let's have the conversation. So all I'm trying to achieve is to pop some bubbles and have some fun, some interesting, some emotional, probably some frustrating conversations along the way. I think there's going to be a lot of vulnerability that comes with having meaningful conversations. And the long and the short of it is, I hope that you will stick around for some bubble popping, some laughs, probably some emotions. I've already cried in a couple of episodes and I'm sure it will happen again. But most of all, my hope is that what this show can do is to make us feel okay for not feeling okay. Make it okay that we don't have everything figured out and that we don't have our shit all together, because actually nobody does, and everybody's navigating so much and just trying to figure it out as we go along. And I hope that I can help us navigate this life stuff maybe a little bit more easily, maybe with a little bit more humility, and hopefully with a whole bunch more laughs. So stick around. Let's see where this goes and let's see what happens from here. It's great to have you listening.